Oh, book. What a book. Oh, One Wrestling. All these pictures. Punk fan booted from Sunnyside Garden. Divine Eric's. What? We're live now? All right. So the heel Apter will say, let him wait. But no, these are my people. According to this, I'm live and in living color. And according to this, Mr. Rough Cuts and the other people who are coming into the room here. Hey, everybody. So, yeah, a lot of people, including my buddy Sal and other people. Danny, I saw you comment too. And one of the fans here, Sal thought I looked sad. So for you, Sal, I'm not sad at all. And I wanted to let you know that. Danny, yeah, there are a lot of people who like this. By the way, as you know, this is my book, Is Wrestling Fixed? I didn't know it was broken. Yeah. So I want to discuss, I'm waiting for some more people to come into the room, hopefully, because I just decided to do this. Just decided to do this a few minutes ago. Because I have family up here who went to sleep, visiting from New York for a few days. And a lot of controversy going on about the beard here. A lot of it. I was really surprised, nicely surprised that people were paying attention. But all these years, people had said to me, hey, Andrew, welcome into the room here. All these people have said to me, you're the one guy, Apter. Because we never thought Hulk Hogan would do it. Never thought the Hulkster man would go Hollywood at all. So, yeah, I started at 10:30. If you're coming into the room, welcome. I've got an itch right over the beard here that's driving me crazy. Oh, the beard is a keeper. I'm not. Oh, promo time. Mad Mac Davis. I don't know what he's mad about, but he's one of my best friends and he's a correspondent here on OneWrestlingVideo.com, and he's got a great new show called Promo Time. Please look up Promo Time. Mac, plug it into the where people can find that on Facebook and YouTube. And he's got a gold belt made for the winner of this competition called Promo Time, where you cut a promo. And man, I'm going to cut one today about this. But I can't enter Promo Time, can I? Because I'm an employee of One Wrestling. I'm going to get to what's going to happen with the beard and why it has to come off. Sal, all right. I'm going to take your questions in a little while. Several things that I want to bring up as Bill Apter and the heel Apter. With the heel Apter, if you don't like the beard, that's too bad. The Bill Apter is, I don't know. You like it? You don't like it? What do you think? God, I'm being schizoid right here. All right, and good morning from St. Louis. Good evening from St. Louis. The Arch, one of my favorite places in the whole world. I love going to St. Louis. Again, I'm going to get to your questions. So a lot of people wanted to know why I turned bad guy. So I'm going to do this whole session as if I'm in the magazine offices back before people knew everything that was going on. So let's all get into the mode of believing wrestling and wrestling personalities, all right? So I did a video 2 weeks ago that I never got to post. with one of the people who used to book me from Gimmick Tree Entertainment, Modern Vintage Wrestling, Charlie Armstrong, Charlie Hartman Armstrong. And he offered me a lot of money that I don't even think he has. A lot of money to join the Bearded Brotherhood. And I got this close to joining. And I was going to post the video. But I spoke to someone on the phone. And she said, don't do it. I couldn't see her, but I could tell from the tone of her voice that I should not join the Bearded Brotherhood. I can't even pronounce it. So, yeah, one of the reasons was, of course, like a lot of wrestlers, got led on by Bobby Heenan and Captain Lou Albano and the Graham Wizard and J.C. Dykes. I'm going way, way back in the managerial camps by the temptation of money and glory, and we can get you more views. Again, I will get to all your questions. But again, I could not turn full heel and do this whole beard thing. And she asked me several times, and I said, I don't know. So I've got it on video here, and you can't show videos on here, but you'll hear the audio in a little while. But so one of the other things I want to talk about is thank God that you're all safe and you're all joining me here. Thank God. I'm so grateful for all of you who have always said, hey, Bill, you belong in the Hall of Fame. Well, thank you. My Hall of Fame is you people. A lot of people have been emailing me about, when am I starting another podcast? I'm not. This is what I do. I do a vodcast, a video cast. I know you all have iPhones and Androids, etc. So when I do this on a more regular basis, once a week, then you can, let's do it on your phones in the car. You don't have to see the video. I like doing it this way. I like talking to you this way. And my buddy Mac Davis and I will be back doing some face-to-face discussions on split screen. Don't forget promo time. Look it up when we're off here. This was a week ago that actually it's been a few weeks now. It's been about a week or 2 weeks that no one in the wrestling business has died. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that fantastic? Thank you for all the good wishes you have sent me on my Facebook page about all these people that were friends of mine, on Twitter, on here. I mean, I'm so grateful to have my Apter chatters here. That doesn't sound like a heel from this side. This guy would say, I don't need no Apter chatters, but I like this side better. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. I will get to all your questions, I promise you. So we lost Howard Finkel. Man, what a good friend of mine he was, and what a great announcer. And then we lost Joe Pedicino. Joe Pedicino was one of the, let me sit back here. Joe Pedicino was one of the first guys to bring me into national prominence. He did that incredible show. What's that? The Varsity in Atlanta. My son lives in Atlanta, and he took me. I've been to the Varsity for years when I used to go there with Mr. S on number 2. Great burgers. Love that place. But anyway, Joe Pedicino had this great weekly show called Pro Wrestling This Week. And he came to the Pro Wrestling Illustrated offices to let me do editorials every week on that show. Craig Peters was one of the producers of that one. Yeah, Craig Peters. He's still around, lives not far from me. I'll have him on the show one time. I'll bring him down here one of these days for a live Apter chat. But I'm just glad that we've lost no one at this point. Are you getting used to, and leave your reply in the chat box here, are you getting used to, yeah, I will get back about the beard and why it's going to be gone probably tomorrow at this point. And keep in mind, I mentioned I have people visiting, family visiting from New York. And kind of, well, I'll bring it up in a little while. So, how are you enjoying live matches from the Performance Center? I've gotten used to it, except for when they come out going down the aisle and they're making like there's audience there. And then when they come in and do the promos, I mean, those are pretty good. But sometimes when they have three of the women in the ring, and I don't know why it's just with the women. I love women, so this is not a knock. But when they have three women in the ring, all working on a storyline or an angle, it seems like a high school play to me at times. All right, this is the heel Apter coming out. It seems like a high school play. Am I the only one that feels that that looks like a high school play? Tell me, what do you think? That's the heel Apter. Back to Bill Apter. This is kind of fun doing this back and forth. The only person in the wrestling business who is a babyface heel. Isn't that right? That's right, and I like it too. Anyway, so I'm getting used to the Performance Center thing. And AEW, I'm kind of getting used to that. So I wonder what you think. When are you going to be ready if they start running shows in June or July? Are you ready to sit in a chair next to somebody who might be sitting next to you and might have COVID? So I don't know, that might not be very comfortable. If I was sitting next to anybody back in June or July, I mean, just think let's role play. I'm sitting at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. Some guy comes and sits next to me. How you doing, sir? Okay. Were you quarantined for a while? Yes, there I was quarantined for a while, but I'm fine now, so I'm going to sit very close to you. I don't know if I like that or not. Are you a big fan of Braun Strowman? Could you not breathe on me? This guy's crazy. I'm out of here. No, that couldn't have been. So how do you a little entertainment. One of these times I'm going to hook up my singing machine and do some tunes together. All right, let me get to your questions. And before we end this, I'm going to tell you why the beard is probably going tonight. Sal and Mad Mac, thank you for Sal Iannucci, my buddy in Florida. He's been writing columns for OneWrestling.com for a long time. And now once a week or so, he's doing special rough cuts segments on OneWrestlingVideo.com where you're watching this. And he's great. He's just got a great delivery, does great stuff. Also, Joe Lowry with his What a Day show has been doing the One Wrestling Video Minute on this channel once a week. But I have to apologize to Joe because I got tied up with other things this week and I was not able to do that. And what about Braden and Brad doing their story time? Have any of you been watching Story Time where they take an old wrestling magazine and they read the story out loud as a bedtime story? I like that. I'm not so sure I like that punky kid, Bill. Oh, but good guy Bill likes it. Yeah, the heel Apter with the beard, not too sure. Now I'm in between, so I'm a combination of both. All right, let me get to some of your questions. And Danny, are you Danny from my neighborhood? Let me know. Okay, Andrew, what's up, Bill? Well, we've just been talking about that. Mr. Premium, 2002. How are you doing, especially during the pandemic? thank you. I'm okay. I haven't been going out a lot at all. Once in a while to CVS for my orange mango drinks that I love. I do wear a mask when I go out. You want to see what mask I wore this week? Okay. You're all going to have to give me a minute to get the mask that I wore when I went out. So while I'm here, you can keep chatting in the box here while I get up. Pardon me. I will be right back. Let me get one of these masks that I wore. Somebody had asked me to find this mask. So I put on the face mask, but little did people know that I was going to put on the gimmick mask too. Somebody asked me, pardon the comb over, as always. What the heck? But somebody asked me if I found the Wrestling 2 mask. Got to do the voice too. Or you know something, Tommy Rich, tomorrow night, boy, knee power, you're going to the moon. So I wore this out. And usually if I would have worn this mask, if I would take a screenshot, if you like. You had your phones out? Screenshot? You can send it to me? How about this? That looks more like the Destroyer than Wrestling 2, doesn't it? How about this one? Okay, so I thought he did give this to me, by the way. That's a real Wrestling 2 mask. One of my dearest friends in the whole world. He lives in Hawaii. He's still around. I think it was terrible. I like the bad guys. Don't let two hear you say that. So I wore that to get out to CVS to get my a case of my gold emblem sparkling orange mango, and it says aspartame free in that. Absolutely free. You don't have to pay. That's why I get Diet Coke caffeine free. The caffeine is free. You pay nothing for it whatsoever. Okay, so oh yeah, says the beard is a keeper. Well, when I tell you why it won't be a keeper, I'm sorry. But I might regrow it. By the way, somebody said that the heel Apter, and I don't know the person's name, that the heel Apter was the greatest turn in the wrestling business next to the one that Larry Zbyszko turned against Bruno Sammartino. I never say turned on Bruno Sammartino or turned on another. It doesn't sound right. All right, so let's look. So Mad Mac Davis, it's promotime@gmail.com. Send your promos. You could win a gold belt. Yes. I am not Nugget Blackheart. Hi, Bill and all. Hey, everybody. Beard is looking good. All right. Sal, I meant to ask you, did you see the Benoit special, Dark Side of the Ring, and your thoughts on it? I did see it. You people who have read my book, Is Wrestling Fixed? Let's hear it. Yes, I didn't know it was broken. There's a whole chapter on Chris Benoit in there. I had promised a member of his family years ago that I would not go into any detail about what my thoughts are about what happened to Chris Benoit and his family. If you listen to Chris Jericho's podcast, when he had me on, you'll hear what I thought. And a lot of people thought I was out of my mind. That's all I'm going to say. But regarding the dark side, Sal, it was an investigative piece, and because I was friends with him, but I was closer friends with Nancy. It was. Yeah, Danny, Hollywood, Bill Apter. Well, you know something, brother. Look at that. All right. Still haven't dyed your beard. Got to do that before removing it. I'm not going to have time to do that. I might grow it again if it comes off tomorrow. So, Michael Fryer, hello, Mr. Apter. Hey, Michael. Yeah, I'm a tweener, 50-50, good guy, bad guy. Um, Michael, thank you all for about the Hall of Fame thing. Hold on. Let me go down my cursor. I'm not cursing, but my cursor just jumped. AWA Teddy B. AWA heel. Laugh out loud. You knock a chair over Rick Mart. I knocked a chair over Rick Martel's head. I never did that. Are you insinuating that I was the man who caused Rick Martel to look? It's itching terribly. Who caused him to lose his title in the AWA? I had nothing to do with it. I was at ringside taking pictures. Yes, but I never hit him with a chair. Might hit him with a camera. Heel Apter is right. Oh, wow. Jay Johnson, the empty arena shows are weird, but not bad in my opinion. I think the exact same thing. I think they're weird, but I'm getting used to them now. I'm definitely getting used to them. I find the wrestlers are being more careful about what they're doing in the ring, because the first few times I watched the matches from the Performance Center, there were, see, I never used to talk about how the business works, but now everybody's so, oh gosh, this is driving me crazy. Drives me crazy. But now I'm seeing the matches are tighter put together, where somebody would do a hip toss and the guy would go over before the hip toss happened. That's not happening anymore. I haven't seen that in a while. Okay, the last Raw I have seen from Danny was the one with Austin, especially the segment he had. I have a cousin who's a big Mark fan of today's wrestling, who watches week in and week out Raw, SmackDowns, NXT, and AEW. And he hasn't been himself and he himself hasn't been tuning in. On the other hand, I've been watching more. I'm reading over there. I've been watching more of the WWE Network and posting some of my vintage merchandise. Yeah, a lot of people are tuning into the WWE Network, and I'm on about 52 different shows. If you go to the network and you do a search in the search bar for Bill Apter, you will find not only stuff I did for the network, but stuff I did for their website as well. Sweet Nugs. I wouldn't. Last time I went to a wrestling show, specifically WWE, I fell asleep during the main event. Wow, that's amazing. You fell asleep during the main event. Whew. What was the main event at that point? Sal, the anniversary of Stossel, Dr. D. David Schultz incident that gained nationwide attention. I applaud Dr. D. David Schultz for protecting the business the way he did. Yeah, he did. And he's a great guy. He's a great guy. He's also, beside being one of the most dangerous people in the world, he's also one of the funniest and nicest guys. If they ever run conventions again, real live conventions, and he's at one, go see him. Tomorrow night, Eastern Time, 10 p.m., I will be on Pro Wrestling's COVID Con, the very first virtual pro wrestling con. Yeah, convention. Now I'm not sure exactly what link to send you to, but if you go to the Facebook page of Kenny Casanova, you'll be able to find it there. I promise you. I will be on at 10 p.m. tomorrow night talking about my book. Ernie, would you bring it over here, please? Is Wrestling Fixed? I didn't know it was broken. And also, I might sing some tunes tomorrow night. I have a whole singing studio over there. Yeah, I might rap. I might do some country. You never know. I might do some Barry Manilow. Yeah. I write the songs that make the whole world at the Copa. Anyway. I didn't do that right. It was on the heel side. At the Copacabana. Boy, scared Ernie away. All right. I hope it's a Jushin Liger mask. I do not have a Liger mask. I do have Ultimo Dragon, Rey Mysterio, Mil Mascaras. I'll bring them on next time we do this. Every time I do one of these, I will do it. Mr. Premium 2002, you might not remember me, but I am the same individual that was chatting with you about Andy Williams and your Johnny Mathis interview. I do remember you. Wow. For those of you watching or listening, Andy Williams was one of my 3 favorite singers in the whole world. And his hit song, let's see who knows, without Googling or anything, what Andy Williams' signature song was. I'm going to check. Okay. There is no prizes because I can't get to the post office. So no prizes, gang. Let me see here. I've noticed Bill in Raw tapings. I'm not in Raw tapings. No, I've noticed Bill in Raw tapings and WWE pay-per-view tape. By the way, the way they're going to do Money in the Bank, I am dying to see how they're going to do this. I hope that no one is going to fall from the roof of Titan Towers at all, like Big Show did one time from another building in WCW. But you never know what will happen in WWE now that there's no spoilers because nobody's in but the crew and the wrestlers. Noticed on WWE pay-per-view tapings from 98 onwards, but was wondering why you weren't involved prior to 98, 97. You did notice you were part, you're talking about shooting pictures at Ringside, if that's what you're talking about, is because they had their own wrestling magazine. And this is a story that's not in my book that I will tell one day, but they had their own publishing company, their own magazines, and the outside magazines were not allowed in there. The photographers around the ring were only the ones for their own magazine. I need a drink after that story. They own the company. They rented the buildings. It's their building. They could do what they want. They still treated me great, but we weren't allowed. We weren't allowed access. Plain and simple. It was a business decision on their part. Meantime, WCW, wide open arms. Some of my best days of my career during that time. And I want to thank everybody there for letting me do my thing. Yeah. Is there a Bill? Is there a Hamid from Instagram? I don't know. I'm not on Instagram a lot. I'm a Twitter and Facebook guy, so I can't tell you. Oh, hi there, Bill. This is Hamid. Okay, Hamid. Thank you. Now I know who you are. All right. Well, thank you very much for being here and contacting me, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you about this project that you have told me about. All right. So, Scourge. Now I'm convinced Bill Apter is the NWA ? You know, I don't give away spoilers. How did you find out? That's my question. Teddy Two Stoned Heart. Chris Benoit was a great wrestler, but bad person. No, I knew him as a great wrestler and a great person. So again, I'm not going to talk about that. Paul Friedman, have I met Essa Rios before? Yes, I have many times. Nice guy. Nice. Hopefully you people get this from reading my book, Is Wrestling Fixed? I didn't know it was broken. I don't knock people. I really don't. I don't look, a lot of people say, oh, this guy's a bum and this guy. That's not what I cover. Okay. That's not what I do. I don't. Jim Cornette said about my book, and he was kidding, but it's right. He says, Bill Apter's book sucked because he didn't bury anybody. I don't bury people. That's it. Although I did bury a great-grandfather no, never mind. That's a personal thing. Again, if you want to hear my take on Chris and Nancy, look up Bill Apter on Chris Benoit's, on Chris Jericho's podcast. Okay? It was a few years ago. We did it in a dressing room in Philadelphia. It was nice to have someone in the wrestling community, a wrestler, ask me to do something rather than me saying, can I have you on my podcast? Jay Johnson, 1610. Imagine if a guy flies in on a helicopter during the Money in the Bank match. What a freaking great idea. That's fabulous. That's genius. Who would it be? If they fly a guy in a helicopter to grab the belt, Bray Wyatt? That would make sense, wouldn't it? Okay. Wow. Wow. Jay Johnson, that's a brilliant. You should be working. You should be working as a writer for the Angle Maker. Brock Lesnar doesn't need it though. Danny says we have a new member to the Instagram community, Sid Vicious. As I mentioned, I'm not a big Instagram guy, but I don't know if that is or is not Sid Vicious. Okay, we've come to the part now where I need to talk about why this is going away tomorrow, April 2nd. And I probably will have video of the shaving live. Not live. This is my video camera. And I can't show you the video of the girl that wants this off me. But I will play the audio for you. I'm not sure if that's the audio yet. Give me 1 minute. Give me a minute. Let me just play it first, and if it is. No, that's not it. That's not it. I'm scrolling through. This is the video camera I used to do most of my interviews the past few years. Okay, so hopefully you can hear the audio here of, I mentioned to you it's a girl, why I cannot keep this beard after tomorrow.
I say nice and slow and loud. And you shave your beard, I will give you a hug. If I shave my beard, you'll give me a hug? Yeah. Did you say that again?
If you shave your beard, I'll give you a hug. Two and 3/4 young girl with her family from New York visiting me here in Apter's Alley. And I asked her, Mac Davis, I hope you're watching this. And I asked her, before you go to sleep, could you give me a hug? And she went, and I said, please, I could really use a hug from you. You're almost 3 years old and I need a hug. And again, she said no, she wouldn't do it. And as she was in bed, I was about to give her a kiss on the forehead. She took her hand and pushed me away. She said, no. I said, why won't you give me a hug? You've been here for almost 2 weeks. Why won't you give me a hug? And she mustered up everything she could in that little 2 and 3/4-year-old adorable brain. And she said, I'll give you a hug if you cut off your whiskers. I don't like your whiskers. So I said, before you leave on Saturday afternoon, if I take this off, will you give me a hug? And in the dim light of her bedroom, I saw. Yeah, that's why it goes.